Well, I think, like Malcolm said, anything below the Canadian border is the Bible Belt. But yeah, I try to. I set up a martial arts school, and I wanted to have the class Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday mornings. Found that I couldn't do a Wednesday because Wednesdays is locked down by the church. You can't do nothing on a Wednesday night because Wednesday and Sunday the people are in church. So it's like the whole religion thing here. On certain days, they got everything on lock, man, and it's critical, and you really feel it when you're trying to do business and when you're trying to do those progressive things after work. After you get off the plantation, you want to come and you want to organize and build. It's hard to do that because now, well then, it was hard to do it because church nights, Bible study, choir rehearsal, you know, you have to contend with all of those things. And you really have to continue. As Dr. Frances Cress Welsing in her book, The ISIS Papers, says that there's 9 areas of people activity that she deals with in here. And when they wage this covert war on hip-hop, they subliminally feed this whole thing that you have to give the credit to the man upstairs once you accomplish certain goals. Now, what are these quote-unquote goals that you have to accomplish? Notice, a lot of the rappers talk about a lot of madness in their records, but want to give credit to God when they go to receive the award. And I stopped calling it an award. I started calling it a reward, because you're rewarded for doing the damage that you're doing psychologically to your people. And then after they fail and they get rewarded, because white supremacy have a lot of money to pay these rappers for doing what they're doing. Notice all of them got a gun in one hand and a cross around their neck. All of them in the video. You know, when they doing the video and they saying they songs, they pulling on their chains because they still got them chains of mental bondage around their brains. So they pulling on their chains with the cross dangling. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's been impounded in their subconscious mind that that cross has a lot to do with their salvation. As long as you got the cross, not to mention the fact that subliminally they're at the crossroads of their life and they're confused. We're not going to deal with that. But I think it represents their salvation. This is what they've been taught. But they haven't been taught the fact that the cross actually stands for suffering, shame, and death. And if you look at the places where you see the cross, there's death going on. On top of the church, in the graveyard. You understand what I'm saying? Around a lot of rappers' necks that are dead and feeding out people filth. So if you really study the science of the cross and where it comes from, and it goes into depth about that in here, the Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization by Anthony T. Browder. It gives you the science on the cross and how they stole it from ancient Kemet and turned it upside down and corrupted it. And I think one of them said, I think it was Napoleon, said, "In this sign we shall conquer." Constantine, pardon me. And they've done just that. And everywhere they went and stuck the cross in the ground, they've conquered. And conquered, destroying the concept of the womb. And that's subconsciously, that's exactly what the rappers do today. Their lyrics, destroying the womb, talking about women, disrespecting women. All the songs about, you know, beating women and killing women. And, you know, now they got terms like, I'm hitting it, I'm cutting it up, I'm beating it. You understand what I'm saying? Always attacking the womb. If not the macro womb, the micro womb, the macro womb. I was studying this thing called this binary thing that rappers have, this duality. Even a lot of them show the outward signs of the duality. A lot of them have 2 and 3 names. If you look at Jay-Z, Jay-Z calls himself Jay-Z and he calls himself Hova. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of rappers have this duality thing going on. They will disrespect women on CD and in their videos, but you can't talk about their mamas. Do you understand what I'm saying? But as soon as you start talking about their mothers, it's a different story. And I always say this, that if you putting these kind of records out today and you disrespecting the women of today, how about those women that are going to have children one day, male children that's going to grow up and one day disrespect you, your wife, your mother, and your child? You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's very cyclical, and what goes around comes around. No, I think a lot of these rappers have been totally brainwashed to the point and to the degree where they subconsciously think that regardless of what they do wrong in making money, because you have to understand something, they don't see what they're doing any different than what the preacher or the pimp is doing. And I think we need to understand it and underline that. So if the rapper says basically, okay, I'm telling the people what they want to hear. Well, the preacher feels the same way. The rapper gets paid for what he's saying to the people on CD and on videos, and the preacher is doing the same thing. So they don't see it different. Now, whence came the pimp? And then why is the rapper and the preacher in the pulpit, the rapper on the video, the preacher in the pulpit, doing the same thing the pimp is doing in the street? They view it all the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if the pimp can get out here and pimp women and make money, the rapper can get out here and pimp the rap game and make money. What's wrong with the preacher standing in the pulpit pimping the people and making money? Or pimping and mention the fact that I don't eat pork. The first thing that comes to a person's mind, you're a Muslim. So once you say that to a Christian woman, or you got issues and you got problems right from the rip. And our slave masters' children have inbred it in our minds. There's two things that you should never talk about: religion and politics. And I say those are the very same things we need to talk about so we can unravel it, so we can free our minds. So in trying to date women from the South, man, if you weren't a Christian and you didn't belong to the church, you got issues, dude, for real. And whatever that frequency is, there's a lot of rappers that are coming up, sounding just like the gangster rapper, sounding like the pimp rapper. Yes, they got the same frequency, but they just talking about Christ. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's ask a basic question. Is that going to be the salvation of the youth? Because that's what they're going after. So you mean to tell me you change the frequency, but you don't change the words? You change the words just a little because you take out devil, the B word, you know, the W word, and a couple of the N word, and a couple of these these alphabets, and you substitute them with Jesus and Christ and these other things, and you think that's going to get the youth. Like the youth are stupid. They're not dumb. They can differentiate between the madness. Do you understand what I'm saying? But now, is the picture worth 1,000 words? Yes, because if you go into church and you got this gospel kind of hip-hop music going on, which is cool, it's a different frequency, but you still got the same teachings of the same old white Jesus, yo, then we got a problem. The youth of today care nothing about that church. You understand what I'm saying? My son is one of them. My son is 15 years old. His mom tried to get him to go to church. He's up in the church playing video games. He cared nothing about you still teaching the same old slavery teaching about him believing in a white Jesus.